Hey there, All Things MSP crew. I am here with Nick Wolf from Cork. You guys have seen Nick on the channel before. We've done a couple of vendor updates, and we did an office hours way back when I started doing office hours. I think actually you guys were the first ones to do an office hour, so that's great. It's great to see that you guys are still around, still doing really well, coming out with new stuff. For the people who don't know what Cork does, tell me what you guys started doing, because I think that's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, so we were founded about 2.5 years ago by Austin McCord, the founder of Datto.
Of course, everybody knows Austin.
Yeah, as a cyber warranty vendor, basically giving MSPs the ability to offer their clients additional financial protection that could supplement a cyber insurance policy. So that's how the company originally launched about 2.5 years ago.
So, you know, you say cyber warranty, and obviously there's cyber insurance out there. There's a difference between the two. Are we talking about something that's kind of like AFLAC for cyber?
Exactly. So basically our warranties are very similar to AFLAC insurance, where it's designed to be supplemental gap coverage. But unlike a cyber insurance policy, this is something that an MSP could resell as part of their managed services agreement, because again, we're labeling it as a warranty, not full-blown insurance.
Right.
So you don't need a full, cyber insurance resale license or anything like that.
Right.
In fact, we actually work very closely with cyber insurance carriers like Yukon, like DataStream, if an MSP wants a full-blown cyber insurance policy. But with us and our warranties, it's all about lowering the cost of that cyber insurance policy and limiting any out-of-pocket expenses a client might have.
Okay, and I know that a lot of times the risk of even having a cyber insurance policy is maintaining the compliance with the things that they have to do, they have to maintain in order to qualify for a payout in case they do have an incident. What does Cork do to help with that compliance?
Yeah, so we actually built a compliance monitoring platform that ties into all of the different cybersecurity tools that an MSP offers. In fact, that's where most of our revenue comes from nowadays, is the monitoring platform, not necessarily the cyber warranty. The cyber warranty is still there, it's still an important component, but again, most MSPs partner with us just for the compliance monitoring platform. So we're going to tie into the RMM tool, the EDR tool, the backup, the MFA tools, 90 plus different integrations. We want to be vendor agnostic, and then from there we can alert the MSP if there's any misconfigurations across those tools that would void out the cyber insurance policy or void out the cyber warranty, like if MFA is turned off, or if there's an endpoint out there that has Ninja running on it for RMM, but for whatever reason Huntress or Sentinel-1 isn't installed for EDR, it slipped through the cracks.
Right.
We're proactively letting them know about that.
And that is really important in terms of, because with an RMM, it's kind of the fox watching the hen house, right? You don't want the same tool that's trying to do the compliance be the one monitoring the compliance. So it's always better to have that extra pair of eyes, or automation in this case, looking at what's going on to make sure everything's right. And that's the other way that you know that if something does go off kilter, that you guys are going to be able to respond, fix it quickly, and become back into compliance before it's a problem.
Yep, it's really designed to be the extra set of eyes and ears for MSPs, because right now MSPs have technicians that get onboarded and offboarded. They have customers that get onboarded and offboarded. They have half a dozen security tools in their tech stack, if not more, so there's a lot of moving parts. And I deal with MSPs all the time that admit that, hey, we're a well-buttoned MSP, we got a smooth running operation, but of the 300 MSPs we've onboarded in the last year and a half, there's always something that we find. There's always an endpoint that got missed or overlooked. Even yesterday I was speaking to one of my MSPs, Showtech Technologies, and he admitted that we were able to find a good chunk of his endpoints that had RMM running on it, but for whatever reason Huntress never got installed on those endpoints for EDR. So we were able to highlight that and be like, hey, you might want to get your EDR solution installed on these endpoints, because if they have a cyber attack, the insurance policy isn't going to pay out.
Right, and that's huge, because they're paying for this insurance for months, maybe even years, and then have an incident and it doesn't pay out. Like, that's a worst case scenario. And who are they going to blame? They're going to blame the MSP.
Yeah.
We take a lot of blame, some for the right reasons, some for the wrong reasons, but in this case, I don't think you steer clear of this one.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of cyber insurance is that a lot of the ways you get coverage with cyber insurance is by filling out that questionnaire. Do you have MFA turned on? Yes or no? Check that box. Is EDR installed? Yes or no? Check that box. But there's really no validation of that.
Correct.
Hopefully MSPs are involved in those conversations, but sometimes a client just might be saying yes, yes, yes on the questionnaire just to get a policy.
Correct.
But they're ultimately paying money on a policy that's never going to pay out if those questions aren't filled out correctly. So that's what I really like about our monitoring platform is there's actually validation behind it. Right. Yes, MFA is turned on, and here's the proof because we're integrating directly into Duo. Yes, EDR is installed because here's the proof we're integrating with your Bitdefender, SentinelOne, whatever you're utilizing.
Awesome. Now, you talked before we started recording about another feature that you guys have added to Cork recently that will actually look over a cybersecurity policy and give them kind of the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, so about 4 months ago we launched our Cyber Insurance Policy Analyzer feature, and that's something that a lot of MSPs have been taking advantage of because MSPs are stuck in this middleman group where they have a client that says, hey, I got cyber insurance from my cyber insurance policy. It's 75 pages long. I don't know how to read it. Is it good or not? And MSPs, like, they're trying to help their clients, but there's also a liability issue where they don't want to be the subject matter expert there. So they need some guidance there. So what they can do now with the Cork platform is just upload a copy of their existing client or prospect's cyber insurance policy. Doesn't matter if it's 50 pages or 150 pages long, and we'll boil it down into a quick Spark Notes, the Cliff Notes. Key bullet points of these are the advantages of the policy, these are some of the risks and blind spots of the policy, where there's low sublimits or no coverage whatsoever, and then have a little box at the bottom that says, here's where Cork Cyber Warranty will be able to help supplement this policy. Again, acting like the AFLAC, covering some areas where the normal cyber insurance policy might not necessarily cover it.
Yeah, and I think that's a great selling tool, actually, for an MSP who's trying to get more into this, trying to really get rid of the risk for their clients and mediate it as much as they can ahead of time. Now, one of the things, that's difficult in the MSP space is to sometimes get clients to convinced to be able to use something like this. Insurance is sometimes a hard sell anyway, but I think there are a couple of things that really stand out, and one of the things that I want to mention is, if I remember correctly, you guys have like a preloaded Visa card or something that when they have an incident gives them access to instant cash to be able to help right now. Is that still the case?
Exactly. So with our cyber warranties, it's more limited scope of coverage, only $500,000,
right,
but it's designed to pay out faster in a matter of days. Whereas cyber insurance, that will typically give you a wider range of coverage in the millions upon millions of dollars.
Right.
But in order for you to see any money from those insurance carriers, typically a forensic audit got to take place, which could take several weeks or several months for them to actually pay out on. With the Cork warranty, we do have that instant access to cash. So the same day you have a cyber attack, we're actually issuing the MSP a debit card with thousands of dollars on it to help that client get up and recovered the same day they're having an incident. And the reason why we're able to do it so fast is because we're validating the data before the attack ever happens. We already know MFA's turned on and working, EDR's turned on and working. We're getting all those compliance alerts in real time. Whereas again, with cyber insurance, they have to do all that fact checking after the attack happens.
Yeah, very true. All right, well, Nick, it sounds like Cork is doing excellently, and really want to wish you guys all the best, and hope you guys have a good show here at GTIA.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure.
Awesome.